welcome to episode 12 of the Lottie Albert podcast. My name is Lindsey and this is a podcast all about crochet. I am Lottie Albert everywhere on the internet. If you'd like to find me, I'll put all the links below. And yeah, welcome. Hello. This is my podcast. I wear a couple of different hats now in the crochet world. I am a designer myself over at Lottie Albert. I also do some work for Hobbycraft as a sort of brand ambassador, and I have recently started working for Molly Makes as their commissioning editor. But this podcast is all views my own, very much just me, what I've been working on and what I'm up to. So yeah, welcome and hello. It is really beautiful today in terms of sunshine, but very windy. I don't know if you can hear it, if it's picking it up, but a lovely autumn day, if not for the fact that I feel really ill. And I almost to the point I feel like I shouldn't be podcasting, but I didn't film last week because my little boy was not very well. He had a really bad virus. And I don't think I had the headspace. I'd just done 2 weeks in a new job and I'm absolutely loving it. But when you have a new job and everything is new and your head is just so full, that's a bit how I felt last week. But yeah, yesterday got all my stuff out for the podcast. I was feeling really excited. I have so much to share and show to you all. And then I woke up this morning feeling decidedly ropey, but I'm here, I've started, so I'm going to plough on because I feel a little bit like if I don't film today, then I'm going to lose the momentum, and yeah, the podcast is going to suffer. So, I'm going to be talking about finished objects, new things, and my works in progresses. Finished objects wise, you will notice I'm wearing one. I finished it this morning. I only had a couple of rows left to do. This is a cowl, as you can see. It is a pattern, a free pattern online by Ball Hank and Skein on her blog, and it's called the herringbone cowl. And hopefully you can see, I feel like a bandit or something, the texture. This is the reason that I made this cowl, because the texture is just amazing. I feel like I should take it off. Oh, that's not really helped. I say I finished it. This is such typical me. I finished it. I really have. The ends are not sewn in. There we go. Yes, so it's a free pattern online. I love texture in crochet and I adore the herringbone knit stitch, but I am not a knitter at heart, and so I just like to crochet things that look like knit projects, but I am really pleased with how this came out. I used 3 balls of Rico Fashion Alpaca Dream, which was a dream. I was quite pleased with myself because this is what I had left at the end of 3 balls. There were 3 50-gram balls. It's got a really interesting construction. It's almost like an I-cord, or what's it called? A chainette, I think it's called. So the yarn to look at looks like it's a series of sort of little chains, but what that means when you work with it is there is no risk of splitting at all. And it's chunky, so it works up really nicely. And it has alpaca in it, so it's really soft. And it's mustard, which, I mean, if you don't like mustard, I don't know what to say about that. I love mustard. And I love cowls. I'm really pleased. When this yarn was sent to me by Hobbycraft, it was one of their new yarns that they asked if I wanted to try out, or sent to me to try out. I really loved it. I had, I think, 5 balls and I didn't know what to make, and I ummed and ahed, and I was being a bit precious with it because I liked it so much that I wanted to make something really special. And in the end, I was thinking about a garment, but I didn't know if I'd have enough, and it was chunky, but I only had 5 balls. I thought, I'm just going to make myself a big cowl because I will wear it and I feel that is a lesson I've learned over the years. You can spend a long time making stuff, but if you don't actually want to wear it at the end, it's kind of not so great. This is going to get a lot of wear this winter. So yeah, that's my one finished object, despite the fact I haven't seen you for 3 weeks. Sorry about that. It doesn't mean I haven't been working on things. I have been working on lots of things. I rather stupidly took on a commission, a design project, and then realised it was my first month at my new job and I've got a longer commute and I'm working more hours. I was like, what have I done that for? It's like I can't say no. So I've been working on that mostly, but I have done a few other things. I finished this, and I finished a few non-crochet things, which I will show you quickly before talking about my Fibre Share, my new job, and a new book I've got in New Things. So I was working on my Liola whip, which I'll show you later, which is a 4-ply cotton, and I think it's just really hurting my hand. So not last weekend, 2 weekends ago, I had a couple of hours to myself and I really wanted to make something, but I basically had given myself repetitive strain in my hand. Oh, the postman's coming, that's embarrassing. The post lady just came. I always forget that happens at this time of day on a Saturday. Anyway, what was I saying? I wanted to do some crafts, my wrist was hurting. I couldn't do crochet. So I made a cushion and I'm so happy with it. This is a patchwork cushion, as you can see. I kind of started it in doing a lot more patchwork and quilting because my mum owned a patchwork and quilting shop. And yeah, sewing was probably the main craft I did before I came to crochet a couple of years ago. All of these fabrics were given to me by my mum. Essentially, with her shop, she is brought round big sort of fabric swatches and samples by the fabric suppliers, and you end up with sort of cards which have pieces from about, I don't know, 25 by 25 centimeters, even up to like close to a meter. And she just gave me a stack, and because I'm a yarn hoarder, craft hoarder in general, I obviously have just got a stack of fabric and other things upstairs in my craft room, in my wardrobe. So I thought I'm going to finally make something out of it, out of some of it. This is like scratched the surface. And this is going to be for my living room, which is very dark greys with mustard. We like mustard in this house. So yeah, I don't know how well you can see. We've got some sort of brushed cotton. This is quite a thin cotton with a nice print on. Some more linen-y type ones here. And yeah, I just went for a geometric shape with an envelope back, because this is my favourite back to do. You essentially just cut 2 pieces of fabric, overlap them, and then sew it all together with your friend. Way easier than putting a zip in my opinion. And it looks quite neat too. I was pretty impressed with this cushion. I had the pieces cut out for months, probably. And so I've got a rotary cutter board and a ruler and all that jazz. But this, for me, patchwork-wise, is very neat. So I was pretty pleased with that. And that morning, I whipped up this one. 2 of these. You can see I've got another one behind me. And then 2 of these. So it's quite a lot of cushions. These are for my conservatory where I'm sat now. I don't know quite what's happened there. This is a really nice kind of minty green velvet fabric that I got a while ago. I love it. I have a thing for velvet at the moment. There's a lot of velvet out there in the shops and I'm not complaining because I'm enjoying this. These are 50 by 50 cushions. This is 30 by 70. All the pads are from IKEA when they're just sort of £4 or £5 in IKEA. And yeah, I kind of forget how quick other crafts are to do because I do so much crochet. So they're my other finished object. Apologies if that was boring to any die-hard crochet fans. What else do I have to talk about in finished objects? Yeah, not much. That's kind of it. I've just been ploughing on. You will note that my Atomic Flowers blanket is not finished. If you watched the last episode, I promised myself that I was only going to work on my Atomic Flowers blanket until it was finished. I'm not even really sure what I said now. Maybe someone can remind me. It was in a bid to get some of my whips done because I have a lot of whips and I've had startitis recently. And I thought, okay, if I pull a number out of a hat, assigned a number to all my projects, picked one project, I'm only going to work on that until the others are finished. And of course I picked the largest work in progress in my stash, the blanket. And I was really dutiful for a couple of days. And I worked on it, and I have done a lot more on it, but yeah, it quite quickly fell by the wayside. And then I was like, oh, it's okay, I'll only work on my current whips, and that's still kind of good. But then I started that new commission, and then this week I've started a few other swatches and things too, so I haven't stuck to it at all. But a few people left some really nice comments on the video, and the Zencha, I think your handle is, said to me, don't set yourself a task if that's not how your brain works, which I thought was really interesting. And she sort of went on to say, I've written it down because I thought it was so profound. She said, some challenges that people set are simply their way of coping with life in general, which slightly blew me away because I was like, yeah, well, I mean, a lot of us crochet for therapy and because we find it like relaxing and de-stressing. So starting from that point, if I enjoy starting new projects and that's what gives me pleasure, then who am I? Who am I to deny myself that? But no, I think also she was sort of saying some people like being monogamous and starting one project, working on it, and then having the pleasure of finishing it. And other people's brains just don't necessarily follow the same pattern as that. And I think she was sort of saying, and a few other people said this too, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, if you want to do it that way, but if you're going to find it stressful and like it's a task and it's going to take the enjoyment out of it, then just work on your other whips too. So that's what I did, as you can tell, because I finished my cowl. So thank you, the Zencha, for your profound words, and everybody else for your comments. The Atomic Flowers blanket will get finished one day, I promise. One day soon. One day soon. I bought some paint for my little girl's room the other day, which is where the blanket is intended for. So, you know, wheels are in motion. The decorating is like about to happen. I bought the paint, so we're halfway there, right? So yeah, the blanket could be for her room. As and when it's finished. Now, shall I talk about new things? I have a new book. I'm going to show you this first because I haven't started making anything from it, but I love it. I just sort of, wasn't even an account I'd really been following, but I was looking, I think maybe through an amigurumi hashtag on Instagram and found just the cutest animals and thought, oh, I have to know who makes those. And it is this lady who goes under the name Pick-a-Pow on Instagram. Her name, I think, is Jan Schnenkel. And aren't these the cutest animals? I don't think this is her first book. But it is her latest book that's just come out. I mean, who doesn't need an alligator wearing a pom-pom bobble hat and a stripy Breton jumper in their life? Everybody needs that in their life. And he has a bow tie. He's so cute. The one that I would like to make, and I kind of want to make it for both my children, I don't know who to choose, is the dragon. I'm trying to find the picture of the dragon now, I'm failing. Oh, here he is at the back. Isn't he cute? Sorry about the sun, I'm trying to work out. Oh, here we go. Isn't he adorable? I love her shapes and her style, but also her colour choices are sensational because mustard. But yeah, I don't know, just these kind of slightly muted, like mustards, greens, blues, pinks. I love this colour palette, which I think drew me to. Can you not tell by my cushion and my cowl and my blanket? I've basically like, this is my colour palette. But these shapes of these animals are also really cute. So I'm gonna make the dragon. I might even make him in like super chunky yarn, so he's massive, like the dinosaur I made for my daughter. If any of you have seen that, I'll put a picture of it in here. That is a Heidi Bears pattern, yeah, which I love. I'm just going to grab a quick sip of tea and then I will be back. Sorry about that. I just suddenly felt really thirsty, to the point that I put an ice cube in my tea so I can drink it now. Sad times. So new things. I showed you my lovely new book, which I'm hoping to make an animal out of each for my children at Christmas. Christmas is soon, people, it's coming. And I have also received, since I last spoke to you, my Fibre Share parcel, which is really exciting. I took part in Fibre Share this year. That's a crochet hook. I took part in Fibre Share this year. I did it about this time last year too, although I think they run 3 or 4 a year, and I don't necessarily I haven't done every one, but I did it this year. And I sent out a big parcel to my recipient. I hope she didn't mind. I kind of used her as a little bit of a D-stash, and she said foolishly that she liked a few other crafts too, like embroidery and something else. So I just like chucked craft supplies at her, to the point that I went to post my parcel, and I post yarn fairly frequently, or blankets and things, and I normally just pay standard post office postage in the UK, which is sort of like, I don't know, between like kind of £2 and £5. And I went to the post office with my box, and they said, because of the weight of it, you might be better off sending it parcel force. So I went to the desk. £12! The postage cost me £12 because I put so much in it. I think it was probably the roll of t-shirt yarn that did it. That was quite large. But I wanted to get into the spirit, and my Fibre Share partner has sent me loads too, so I have not been disappointed. So I'll show you quickly what she has sent me. I have got 2 balls of this really beautiful colour, beautiful peachy colour, which I love. Patterns Cotton Pearl, 100% pure mercerised cotton, and these are 50-gram balls. I mean, these look like, I don't know if anybody can tell me, they don't look like modern packaging. They look like, you know, maybe vintage is too strong, but I don't mind that. I love that. I love being able to get things that you probably couldn't get. And the colour is gorgeous. So she sent me those. She sent me this jazzy number, which is Ice Yarns, made in Turkey. Joy Angora Glitz. It's 25% Angora, 70% acrylic and 5% lurex, and this is 100 grams. It's weight number 2 or fine, and it calls for a 3 to 3.5 millimeter hook. So I guess it's like 4-ply, and it's fluffy and sparkly and just these sensational colours. Also a winner. Amazing. And then I have this really cute little mini skein, which is, it's looking a bit more neon on camera than it is, but it's a bright pink and a white. Again, she has nailed that. I love that. I'm not sure if she's hand dyed that herself. There isn't a label. What does she say? A really pretty little card. She said, To Lindsey, I hope you like the package that I have put together for you. I chose a range of types and colours, so hope you can find something nice to make with them. Love, Alice, your Fibre Share partner. There was a little note in, oh here we go, saying Devon Sun Yarns, August Yarn Club, Summer Bouquet, but I think that is this, because that to me looks more like a Devon Sun Yarns Summer Bouquet than this does. Yeah, and it says 100 grams, so I think that relates to this. And handily, it's already wound for me. Well, hey, that saves a lot of hassle. So this is really nice, kind of pinks, yellows, and like a peachier, corally pink in there as well too. And it's got like a stellene or sparkle through it. I don't know how well you can see. So, really gorgeous colours. Really beautiful. She also put in a little pot with stitch markers on in. There are about sort of 6 of these little stitch markers. I don't know if she's made them herself. They're really pretty, like little glass flower beads on them. The only trouble is I don't have the pot or these stitch markers because my son has taken a fancy to them. I think he thinks they're like little treasures or something. Actually no, he thought they were earrings and he was asking me to put them on his ears. He is nearly 2. My mother-in-law is really into beading and she always wears really big sort of dangly beaded earrings, and he loves it when she takes them out and she'll like loop them over this part of his ear and he'll walk around like this. Earrings, earrings, with big dangly earrings on. So yeah, I think he saw these and thought that he could achieve the same look, but obviously they're stitch markers, so they've just got a little clasp on. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to wear them as earrings, but he has been carrying the little pot around, and I don't know if anybody's got children that age, you will know they just like to take things out and then put them back in, and take things out and put them back in. So he opens the pot and takes them out, puts them back in and closes the pot. Endless entertainment. So thank you, Alice, for providing me with child distraction techniques too. And pretty stitch markers. She's put in this really gorgeous Baylis and Harding candle, which is a really nice bonus, and this made me chuckle slightly, but I don't have one, so I am still excited about it. A Molly Makes loom kit, which I think was a free gift on the mag a while ago. It doesn't say which issue it came with, but yeah, that did make me chuckle slightly to get a Molly Makes kit, and I think it was like the week I'd started when she sent it, but yeah, there we go. Spring Pastels loom kit, so you warp it up. Yeah, it is warping, that is the warping row, isn't it? And yeah, you can make this here or other little mini hangings, so I'm really excited about that, testing that out. Hey, maybe that'll be another good one if I get RSA in my hand again, using different muscles. So thank you, Alice, for being an amazing Fibre Share partner. I'm excited about this. And actually, I just had it next to these, which was the next thing I was going to show you. And doesn't it go well? That was Fibre Share. If you're interested in getting involved with Fibre Share, they have a website and a Instagram account, and you have to pay, I think it's around £5 UK or the equivalent wherever you are. And obviously you have to pay the postage of what you send, but other than that there are no costs involved, and people send the most amazing packages and are so generous. And I think next time I might do, you can either choose sort of domestic or international partners, so people from within the UK or people outside the UK for me. So I think next time I might choose an overseas partner, because then you might get some, you know, yarn you've never even seen before, which is exciting. And treats. I quite often see like young packages coming over from Canada with like amazing maple treats in, which I fancy. So I'm going to do that just to try and get a Canadian partner. I have been sent, I'm still on new things. I am soon going to be talking about whips. Oh, no. Yes, that's good. Check and plan. I'm on plan. I've been sent some yarn from Hobbycraft, and it's not so much yarn as candy floss or cotton candy. Oh, what did my Australian friend tell me that you guys call it? Something like fairy hair. That's the best name for it. It's so good. This is Gigi by Debbie Bliss. Gigi. I'm gonna go with Gigi. I think that sounds cooler. It is a mohair. So it's 57% mohair, 28% wool, 15% acrylic. These are 50-gram balls. But what I really like about this is that it is chunky. So this is worked with a 6mm hook, which is great because it wears it really quickly. Pink, pastel purple. This is sort of like an off-white, almost like a kind of greeny grey hue. I'm not sure if it looks the best next to these fabrics. These are the colours. A darker purple, and I saw that my friend on Instagram, Kim of No Way Crochet, got like a bright pink sort of lipstick colourway. So I think they have quite a few colours, but I was sent this more kind of pastel range, which I love. And I have started working a ball up into a project, which I will show you in whips shortly. But if you fancy yourself some yarn that is essentially candy floss and is gorgeous to work with and works up much more quickly than any other mohair you've ever worked with, then this is your bag. I recommend this. I've also been sent, but I haven't used them yet, some really nice DMC cottons in these 3 colourways. I've got quite a few balls of this sort of, I was going to say stone washed, but I think it's more of like a denim mix. DNC denim. Can you see it's got loads of fluffy little mohair threads all over it. And then these Natura Just cottons, medium in blue and white. These might be quite nice to use to make one of the Pica-Pow animals. I think cottons are really nice for amigurumi because you get a really nice stitch definition and a slightly sort of sturdier feel to your fabric, which if you want your animals or your stuffies, as I know a lot of you call them, to be quite firm and, you know, really bring out their characters, then cotton's a good way to go. So these and these were all sent to me by Hobbycraft. So I definitely know that they're available there. And yeah, I'll let you know how these work up as and when I start working on them. So the last new thing I wanted to talk to you about or tell you about was my new job. I recently started working for Molly Makes magazine, which I am loving. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me messages of congratulations and good luck in advance of me starting. I've been there 3 weeks now, and yeah, it is everything I'd hoped it would be and more. I'm really enjoying it. So my role is commissioning editor, so I work really closely with our editor and the rest of the team to come up with ideas for projects for future issues. And I then work with amazing designer makers in order to, yeah, realise the ideas and bring in tutorials. People send in their tutorials on patterns and we photograph them for the magazine in-house, or I don't, that's not my job, but yeah, so it's a really exciting process. And I think what's really nice about Molly Makes is they have a real focus on using sort of emerging designer makers and often people who haven't been featured in magazines before. Yeah, so it's amazing to be able to approach people mostly through Instagram and sort of online. I find people and to work with people on crafts. It's a dream. The office is great too. We are a team of about 6 of us, but on our floor are lots of the other craft magazines too. So Molly Makes is owned by a bigger company called Immediate Media, and they own a whole host of magazines from sort of Radio Times to Gardener's World magazine to a lot of the CBBC magazines and CBeebies magazines. And they have a lot of craft magazines too. They have a really big craft portfolio. So right next to the Molly Makes set of desks is the Simply Sewing magazine, Cross Stitch Gold, a couple of the other cross stitch magazines, and papercraft magazines are also on our floor. So it's amazing. It's obviously an office, so you've got your desks and you've got your computers, but then there's also just piles of fabric and projects and props for photography everywhere, because we're next to the sewing mag. One of the sewing mags, they've got big rails just full of handmade clothing that has been sent in and has been featured in the magazine in just beautiful selections of fabrics. Every now and again you'll hear like a sewing machine or someone cutting fabric. The cross stitch magazines have got giant spinners just full of every possible sort of DMC thread that you could imagine. So it's like office meets craft mecca. It's really inspirational and really lovely place to work. I mean, I've worked in publishing for a number of years, and so publishing by its nature is a pretty creative industry. I was in books previously, so our old office had stacks of books everywhere, and that was an inspiring place to work. But yeah, it's a real creative hub. So to be able to work in an office that has that buzz and that atmosphere and actually feels so creative is really, yeah, really exciting for me. So that's my new job. It's been okay being the new girl. I thought it might be super cringe or super scary, but my team are all so nice that, yeah, it's made it really easy. The commute is what it is. It's longer than what I was used to, but I am getting used to it. And my technique at the moment is just to get up early, start early, finish early, and then I'm back early, and I still have a couple of hours with my kids before, bath time, bedtime. I work part-time, so I have still got time with them at home. So all in all, going pretty perfectly, guys. I mean, I do feel rubbish today. I feel ill. I think I've been like burning the candle at all possible ends, and maybe I need to look after myself a little bit better. But I guess that's always going to happen when you start a big new thing, because you just sort of dive in, don't you, and go for it. And maybe I'm burnt out a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, my husband has taken both the children to the farmer's market this morning. And actually, bizarrely, it's being a bit of an angel. So my husband works from home and he works away, and we never really know when it's going to be happening. Thankfully, he's been at home a lot while I've been starting my job, but I've been coming home to like dinner on the table and all the kids' stuff ready and the washing folded. This never happens. Like, I don't know if it's like a reward of some kind from him, or he's kind of just pulled his finger out. Like, I don't want to sound sexist. I hate it when people make assumptions or categorize men or women in certain ways, but essentially, I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I feel really supported, and yeah, that's been a kind of unexpected outcome from me having a new job and working slightly different hours and further away. Yeah, I kind of feel like he would make a much better house husband than I do a housewife. He's just much more into that kind of stuff. I just sit here and crochet, shall I? That would be nice. Anybody got that set up? Let me know. Let me know how you get that set up. Oh. So yeah, that's the new thing. My new job, Molly Makes. Loving it. So happy that I made the move. And yeah, long may it continue. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about whips. I have a few. I'm not going to show you them all. Weirdly, I haven't brought down my Atomic Flowers blanket. I've got my Liula, which I'll show you, but I also quickly wanted to show you this swatch, and it really is just a swatch, just because I'm in love with it slightly. What do you think? Can you see why I love it? I love me a bit of texture, and I love crochet that looks like knitting, and to me, this looks like knitting. You know that I like crochet cables if you've watched before, but yeah, there's something about this pattern feels more refined or more like knitting. So I am playing around with ideas and trying to work this up into hat patterns in various sizes. Let me know if you would be interested. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a pattern coming soon just because I really love it. I've also been working on a cushion design using the GG mohair that I was sent. And I haven't shown you this colour. I'll show it you now. This uses just under 150 gram ball, and the idea is that I'm in a right angle here. The idea is that it is going to be a cushion cover to fit sort of 40 centimetre by 40 centimetre cushion. I don't know how well you can see. This is the mohair and this is a cotton. They are different weights and they are different fibres, obviously, and that is what I absolutely love about it. How well can you see? It's geometric, also a tick box, and yeah, it's just got a really nice texture and feel to it. So I'm loving that. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek. I'm sort of working on a series of cushion designs. I can't decide if I should release them all at once or separately. All at once would be nice, but also relies on me actually finishing them and writing them all up and getting them tested and photographing them. And then it'll probably be summer, no one will want fluffy cushions, but this is the other sneak peek I'm going to give you of the other one. Oh my goodness. Can you see what it's going to be? It's going to be a triangle, and I love this. It feels so soft. This is the leader of the pack, alpaca. I think that's right. So soft. And there's so much texture. And oh look, it's going to be a geometric shape. What's wrong with me? I know what I like what I know, what can I say? So yeah, those are a couple of very fluffy whips. I'll just grab my Liola to show you. I have made a little bit of progress since last time. So this is my Liola, which is a cal that's being hosted by Emma of Potter and Bloom using cotton flowers, yarn cake. I am using a pink through to cream to green yarn cake. So I started with pink, gone up through into cream. Yay, I've hit cream. Had I hit cream last time 3 weeks ago? I think I was maybe like here. So I did like a chunk, really hurt my wrist. Haven't done any since because I've been working on so many other things. I'm like so close now. Wow, I say so close. I'm halfway essentially, aren't I? I'm halfway. Send me some motivation for this because I feel like I've done so much that I can't stop now. And I want to use the whole yarn cake. So Emma in her cal description and notes sort of says, you know, don't feel you have to use the whole yarn cake, do 80% or whatever, but I feel like now I've started, it's going to be super long anyway. It may as well just be like crazy long. So that's my Liola. I have a couple of things on the go, but I haven't really worked on any of them. So I'll probably leave it there rather than exhaust you with more show and tell. And I think I've talked about everything on my list. So I'm sorry if I've been a bit under the weather, but I am pleased that I have filmed because I did miss last week not filming. I wasn't in the headspace for it, so it was the right decision. But yeah, it is nice. It's a really lovely. I realise I'm just talking to my camera, my phone, but I love getting comments and reading your comments. I think essentially what I'm trying to say is I really enjoy podcasting and I really love hearing from you and your comments. That's what I enjoy most, is getting the feedback and yeah, knowing that you've enjoyed hearing what I've talked about or seeing what I've been making. I watch a lot of knitting podcasts even though I don't even knit. what it is. It's just a nice thing to have on while you're crafting, isn't it? Nice to have in the background, and I suppose nice to feel part of a community and know that there are other people out there enjoying crafting in the same way as you. And yeah, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. If it was your first time watching, then feel free to check out my other videos. If you are a returning viewer, then thank you so much. I love you guys. And I will see you in 2 weeks, hopefully. I might have to change things around a little bit because I do have a big holiday to Japan in November. But hey, maybe I can do more of a like vloggy one from Japan. Would that be exciting? Anybody got any yarn? I think Nora yarn is Japanese. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, if anybody knows of any yarn areas, places I should go, hit me up. We're going to be staying in Nagoya, and I had a little Google, and there is a 5-floor craft shop in Nagoya, so I'm definitely going to be heading there. My husband was like, oh, you know, we need to talk about the itinerary and ideas for things we want to do. I was like, yeah, I'd like to go to the craft store. It's like, for God's sake, Lindsey, you and your crafts. But he's playing golf, so that's the same, right? He goes on holiday and plays golf, I go on holiday and go to a craft store. I think that's perfectly legitimate. Some people go on holiday to certain destinations just for the food, so I don't see why that couldn't be a craft thing too. Maybe it already is. Maybe you've been on one of those holidays. Where in the world is good for crafting? There you go. Tips below. You can leave me tips below. Yeah, I'm waffling now, aren't I? Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch up with you all soon, if not in the comments. Yeah, thank you. See you guys. Bye bye. What have you got? Pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
More uh-oh, Charlie, look where your arm's just gone. In the glitter.